essence of Chi is about manufacturing and marketing of beverages and food products that have a very high nutrition quotient. We operate predominantly with two brands. One is Chivita, which is in the fruit-based beverage segment, and with Hollandia, which is in the dairy-based products. Chi operates pretty much across all states of Nigeria. We have about 20 distribution centers spanning the whole nation. We employ directly about close to 5,000 people, and we affect, in our estimate, about 120,000 people in the entire value chain. As with all businesses, it's been a tough time. I think in the beginning it started with lockdowns, so that was obviously very difficult because it prevented access for our supply chain, to our consumers, to our retailers, to on-premise. We had schools locked down, so a large part of our portfolio is actually products that cater to kids who go to school. Internally we refer to as lunchbox, products. So of course that took an impact. But the great news is that as an organization, I'm very proud of the fact that we pivoted very, very quickly. So when we saw one door shutting out, we realized that it's time to open other doors. So consequently, we actually ramped up our entire distribution effort. We added more vehicles to the fleet. We increased our coverage. Off my head, we added about 40,000 outlets last year. We want to add another 80,000 outlets direct coverage this year. The other thing we did was also to start communicating the enormous functional benefit that our products have. So the reality is that if anything, this is the time when the consumer is really looking for products which are good for you, which are healthy, which have ability to impact their immunity, their performance. We are very fortunate to be at that point where, we have a portfolio of products which kind of address these requirements. The other thing which we also did was that we went back to our DNA, which is really about innovation, and we started to look at what are the other things that we can bring to the consumer in this time. So for example, one of the things that was born is that now Chivita is available in cans because it's a 330 ml. You can carry it. It's easy. It's handy. It can be carried around. But I think for us, the biggest challenge was, given COVID, how do we make sure that our employees are safe? Because as you can imagine, we are an essential service, and we were actually rated as an essential service because we're in the food and beverage segment. And if we don't come to work, then people don't get to eat, and that's a huge responsibility on our shoulders. So consequently, we've been working all the way through. So the biggest challenge really was, how do we make sure our employees who come to work every day are safe? So we launched a large number of initiatives. So for example, this whole thing was called Chi Limited Immune Support Program, wherein we launched, so for example, we have now a dedicated clinic with 24/7 doctor and nurses available. We also started preventive measures. So we started giving out supplements that positively impact your immunity. We did deworming exercises so that the entire workforce health, overall health can start to improve. So in the event that they have to combat with the COVID, they have the capability of doing that. We also put in place lots of sensitization and educational measures, we put screens everywhere, teaching employees, what prevents, how do you maintain social distancing, masks, the whole jing-bang. And then finally, I think, as an entity, we're very, very high on how do we make sure that certain laid down COVID-related protocols are followed through. So I'm sure as you walked in today, they checked your temperature, they gave you sanitizers, they ensured you had face masks. So all of that, came together. So if you ask me, that's the biggest challenge. And I think, again, very proud of the team, that the way they brought this whole thing together. We put a small team together. They track every week. At the highest level in the organization, we get to see, where compliance levels are, how can we continue to improve. The future for us is very bright. Rarely do you have this kind of an opportunity. I think Africa as a whole is a great opportunity. Within that, this is the biggest economy on the continent, 200 million people, lots of young people coming out. So it's a very vibrant, very exciting time to be in this part. Yes, we could focus on the challenges, but as an organization, I think we are better off focusing on what positives this economy has and what it brings as opportunities for us. So really, our own limitation is our thinking. So as long as we can do our best, no goal, no ambition is too large.